test first lah. And if okay, then we can go live. I can share the link also back to Facebook. Can you hear me, right, Mr. Chin?
Yes, I can hear you. Good.
Just checking. Okay, so we can start. All right. Okay. So hi guys. Sorry again for the technical difficulties. Yes, that's happened. All right. So welcome again. For those who tuning in for our third talk at Malaysia Mapping from Home Festival. So we've been running the festival for almost one month already, and we actually look forward to see and get all the final submission at the end of this month. And yesterday we had an opportunity to talk to Fajar and also Adi from Indonesia Mapping from Home Festival. They are both winners for both category A and category B, and so today, to just continue the festival, we have a representative from Epson Malaysia to share with us about how we can actually work with the projectors and manipulate the hardware that we have to the fullest. And we had here Mr. Chin from Epson Malaysia. Hi, Mr. Chin. So,
Hello.
yes, Mr. Chin have 8 years experience working in customer service, and he started to venture into pre-sale at Epson Malaysia since 2006. And I guess he collaborate with various of people from market experts and corporations, educations, governments, and also events. So I think Mr. Chin is a really great person for us to be talking to, and he also one of lover or movie goers who have or work with home theater a lot. So it really makes sense to get him to talk with us and share with us on how he work with projector, especially within confine of our home. So maybe Mr. Chin, you want to introduce a bit about yourself and talk a bit more what do you do?
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody stays safe throughout this MCO's duration. So basically, working in this industry for over 20 years, so I witnessed that the transition from the projector use a simple usage from only for meeting usage, now switching to all the events, even though you can see all the mapping, projection on different objects. Even though a property developer, they try to do the mapping to showcase of the product solution. But now it start venture into the home. So I also have the real case that the home user actually intend to want a mapping projection into the blank wall, into the living room, so they can enjoy the ambient. It actually happened in Malaysia. So this is in line with why we have this mapping from home project, because it really happened across the world, includes Malaysia. I think by today sharing session, we can give a little bit more insight information how to get the right use the projector. They have some certain function feature can make use to get a more immersive home mapping usage. Back to you, Shakir.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, Mr. Chin. So yes, we definitely want to get to know more about the projector and because most of us who get involved with the competition or even the festival, we come from a designer background or creative background. So to work with the technical bit of it, sometimes it's really a challenge. So maybe we can get your opinion and maybe your experience and share it with us. So beforehand, I think I wanted to also give credit and thanks Epson Malaysia and Mr. Chin and all Epson Malaysia staff and our collaborators, because us at Filamen, we've been working with Epson for a while, and I'm going to share a bit about stuff that we did through the videos. So I think we can now play back our video, Samson.
Hi, I'm Shakir. I'm the founder of Filamen.
Hi, I'm Nadir, co-founder of Filamen.
Art doesn't need to be just art itself. Art. Hi, I'm Shakir. I'm the founder of Filamen.
Hi, I'm Nadir, co-founder of Filamen.
Art doesn't need to be just art itself. Art could be, very versatile and universal. That's why we use technology as one of the core of our art installation.
The best part of the Filamen work is we love to do things with light. So with the projector is consists of light. We now can control the lights with the direction that we want it to portray. Like what we have been done now at Urbanscape with Immersion 2.0.
The reason why we pick Epson because of technology advancement that Epson have is really helpful and user friendliness of the projectors.
Right. So yes, that's basically Urbanscape 2018 project that we worked together with Epson and also Mr.Chin. Because I think to get all together we had around almost 10 to 12 projectors for that project. So yeah, we've been working a lot for the past few years. Since 2017, I think that's the first project that we sort of engage with Epson, and then after that in 2018 we then again try to work together, and sort of we did, and it's actually quite a big massive exhibition that we had at Immersion in Urbanscape. And again with 2019 we also continue to expand it and make it more bigger. And we don't even actually work together at Urbanscape. We also did work together at Georgetown Festival. So while like I think some of you guys actually see Filamen, on site working and producing all this work. Behind it, I wanted to also share that Mr. Chin also worked with me a lot for this project, because before we can even go on site, we need to know what kind of projector we can use, and what is the best projector that we can basically use for the installation and so on. So that's actually all come from Mr. Chin, and Mr. Chin actually advised us on what kind of projector we can use, and the type of lenses of projector that we can probably use during the installation. And just to share a bit about some of the Epson product, Mr. Chin, about the projector that we used before. I'm not sure. I think some of this maybe is not already in the market, but I just want to share with everyone here who live with us that Epson product is actually really help us a lot. And this is one of it, which is, I think it's a normal home use or office use projector, but it's a short throw projector. So this projector actually we used back in 2018 for this installation. The installation is digital tinting. It's a digital hopscotch. So we have this problem because the room is very small. For us to actually do or cover a bigger scale of projection, it requires us to use a short throw projector. And so just so happen that you guys have the short throw projector, and it really makes our life easier lah. So we can actually mount the projector on top, and then have the projection projected on the floor. And then we also used this projector. I think this one you also suggested for us to use it, and during that time it's the one of the new one, right? The new model that got released.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
Laser model.
Yeah, it's a laser. Yes, first it's a laser model, and also it's a really different type of projector that we used before. Because normally we have this like clunky big as projector, but this one it looks like I don't know, like a very nice spotlight kind of style. So what really nice about this projector is that it doesn't look like a projector. And people actually, when we did the installation, people ask like, oh, where you guys put your projector? You know, they don't know where is the projector are. And when we point it out, it's really nice to see, you know, projector that doesn't look like a projector. So we use it for this installation. It's a tunnel where we have a few of semi-transparent cloth, and we use two of it on each side, and it's actually really bright because the area is not that dark, but when we use laser projector, it's really make a difference. And then we move to a slightly bigger projector that we use with Epson. So this one, I think we use it for yes, a dome projection by Sasho again at Urbanscapes 2018. So we have this also another advantage by using a projector that can change the lens. You can actually choose the lens. I think this is also one of the projector that you propose to us, and also lenses that you also propose to us. Which lenses that can actually open up, biggest one for this installation. And yes, of course, moving a bit more higher, and we have EB 1755, or maybe something around the line. I didn't remember actually the exact model, but this is, yeah, I remember it looks like this, and it needs like two of us to actually carry it around. And again, this is also interchangeable lens projector, and for this specific installation, because it's quite far away, I think we have around almost 100 feet distance between the projector and also the building. So this one, I think you propose to us to use a long throw or normal throw lens, so we can have like, you know, the maximum brightness that we can get, and also cover up the whole entire building. If you can see here, there is like quite a lot of light pollution even during the event, but you can still see the projection on site. So I guess that's basically some of the, you know, projection or projector, the big projector that we use. And you know, a few of it is laser projector, but whenever we work with Epson projector, most of the Epson projector is actually laser projector, and also the laser projector that we use, most of it is a bigger high-end version, you know. When we did 2019 Urbanscapes, you mentioned that, oh, there is like this new model that maybe we can actually try out, and it's a home-based projector, and very small scale, and it's a smallest laser projector during that time. So I was like, oh yeah, why not, right? Because we know that laser projector is very bright, and you know, having that for our installation is really interesting. And this is EF 100. It's actually very small, at this size only, and we mount it on our thing, and we have this 3-wall projection. I think this one we only use 2 of this projector, but another one we have another different projector. But yeah, the brightness of the projection is really nice, and it helped bring up the installation by the artist. So yeah, I mean, working with Epson, it really helped us to, you know, bring our artwork to the world, and also obviously it's not really felt during the installation or during the event itself, but for us as an artist working with, you know, really reliable projector, really reliable hardware, it really help us to, you know, not really worry about it. And yeah, it at the end of the day, people can actually come and take pictures, and really nice to see it lah. And just to share with you also, Mr. Chin, you know, obviously it's not only this the projector that we work with. There is a lot of other projector, but this is the stuff that I can share for now lah. But to go, I think, to talk more about the projector and more detail about the technicality, I'm going to pass it to you to share with us lah.
Sure. Let's carry on.
Right.
Okay, over here, we share with you guys about the overall Epson business projector range, right? So from the top bottom of the left corner is everyday use, those projector that we use in a classroom, a meeting room, right? Then moving from here to the right hand side a little bit, there will be classroom, a little bit more larger projector that can be used in a meeting room as well. Then moving further, you will see something different. Larger screen with a shorter throw distance, which means over bottom there is EB535W, which is a short throw model. What it means that the difference with the classroom is, let's say we want to have about a 2-meter wide image, right? For a normal projector, we may need to put about 2.5 meter away or 3 meter away, quite a further distance. But for short throw, for 2-meter wide image, I just need to have maybe 1 meter distance, such a shorter throw distance, but with a much more larger image. At the same time, we look at on top of this one, that is actually ultra short throw projector. The model that we show over here, EB1485FY, is actually attached to the wall to achieve the same size. So means the distance from the wall is just about maybe 1 foot away, or even lesser than that, to achieve about a 2-meter wide image. So imagine in certain environment, you really have no space. You need to play around with all those things setting. And then moving up further, you have some of the larger event models like the those laser light source model, whether it's white color or black colors. And especially those one that over the bottom right corner is actually with the we can say elbow lens. We call it ultra short lens, where the throw distance even much more shorter. For instance, if I want to have about a 10-meter wide image, it just need to place about 3 meter. Right. Really, really impressive, especially when at certain event you really have a high ceiling and all this thing really can do much. Right.
I think I saw some of the projector in Team Lab installation in Japan.
That's
It's
correct.
really interesting to see it. Yeah. And can I ask also, is there any of these projector also have interactivity? You know.
Yes, they are. So like the one that in the middle, right? Large screen with shorter shows distance. The ultra shorter project actually built in with the interactive. Not only interactive, it also allows to do mapping and multiple projector join up together to do interactive mapping.
Wow,
Itself,
nice.
right? So, but let's say if you have certain software or maybe a single unit projection, most of the model we show over here actually allow you to do certain range of the mapping, even though you do it from the home. So the subsequent slide we have certain aspect to talk about this. Yeah,
Nice,
we say it
nice.
to the next slide. Yeah, next please.
Nice. Okay.
So when you talk about high brightness range, right, it will start from about 5,000 lumens up. In the projectors, right, we measure the brightness just like a light bulb, LED light bulb of the normal you use in the homes, right? Projector also measure in the lumens. We call it NC lumens, but now we change to a lumens. Start from a few hundred lumens and then to 1,000, 2,000. High brightness start from 5,005 and all the way up to 30,000 lumens from Epson range. And we look in over here, right, that we have actually more laser versus the lamp base, because this is a technology shift. Everything shifts towards to lasers. So just ask ourselves, right? Now that how many people still use our fluorescent light, the long tube. Everybody switch to a LED light,
LED light,
etc. Right? So projectors is the same. You switch it to the laser. Right? So later we will explain furthermore how all these laser light source projector make it much more better for your use in all sorts of usage. Next. So in summary, we categorize those projectors get able to do a mapping projections right into these 4 categories. Start from the ultra short throw 1485FY, laser light source of 5,000 lumens. So with a single unit, you can do a finger touch interactive. 2 unit, you actually can do a mapping and finger touch as well. Going further up will be EBG 7000 series. It's a lamp-based model that is start from 5,005 lumens up to 8,000 lumens. So various resolution to choose from. And from the file from the right-hand side will be EBL 1000 series. So that we have it in 6,000 lumen, all the way up to about 12,000 lumens. And we even have some other model at 15,000 or 17,000 lumen. But the nutshell is it has the higher resolution, SXGA plus, all the way to native 4K. They are. Okay. Then she will go into mapping for the building, massive mapping. All these things will be EBL, 30,000 lumens, this range, which actually really gives a massive brightness. One key thing we'd like to share over here is it depends on you.
I think we lost.
As well as your image size, you may different range of projector models. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, can. I think we lost you for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Okay,
can continue
sorry.
a bit about the EBL 30,000.
Yeah, for EBL 30,000s, right? This is the brightest Epson projectors that we have ever had. So it's come with intertangent lens and allow you to do for mapping projections across the buildings. With the large building, last time maybe you need to have 2 units to bright up the same environment, but now even more simplified. 1 unit will do, right? I think Shakir later you will have a sample case study to share,
Yes,
which is 2 units,
yes,
4 units. But moving forward, you need less unit to do the same. Simple setup, but give you the same output. So where do this high brightness model can be used on? So in the events, mapping projections, music concerts, a large venue, corporate boardroom, right? Sometimes even the museum. So if you go to national sites of at Bukit Jalil, actually they have a few Epson projectors installation over there to give the to teach our new generation how to use about the size with the projection mapping and all those things, right? That's something really useful to convey your message. Next. Yeah. So these are some of the examples that we had done throughout the past year. One of it is a building mapping in Rawang. It's a land-based models. We have 2 unit projectors, 7,500 lumens, to do edge blending mapping on the image structure like this. And after some time, right, I think there's sometimes there is a world football event. They turn it into a very large football viewing experience with the people drive in and then to have a view. So this thing actually happened a few years back. Okay, so drive-in cinema, that kind of experience actually happened in Malaysia before with Epson projector. When it turn to bottom over there, we will have property gallery actually use the curved wall projection with 1 unit projector alone. So you don't need a software, you don't need anything special, just a typical computer, HDMI connect, and you can do the same. Other setting actually configuration done in the projector side. Last and one of the most memorable, I mean, the working with filaments is on the mapping projection with the Sunway Unity building. We have to use 4 unit of projector, okay, 25,000 lumen each to make this large projection. I remember it's over 1,000 person actually turns up during that event, right, Shakir? Yeah.
Yep.
Next. So
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, we want.
lamps
I'm
versus
really,
speaker, right?
interested to see and hear that you say, you know, a lot of your Epson product is a laser projector. So I think this is a common thing that you know, us an artist or designer actually ask a lot. Whether which one is the best one? Is it lamp is better than laser, or you know, is laser for a long run not really suitable for you know, for outdoor installation per se? So maybe you can, you know, advise us and share with us what do you think about it.
Okay. In overall, like lasers, a light source projector always have the added advantage versus lamp-based. First of all, is the operation hour up to about 20,000 hours, with the lamp-based typically about 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, right? And the next point is on the servicings. All right, when you use on certain more harsh environment, so the air filter is something that will coming in, right? For the lamp-based, it may have more frequent, I mean, change it, but laser, actually the filter life source actually same as the lamp laser light source means about 20,000 hours, so 4 times versus the lamp-based. Not only like that, it actually have a high contrast ratio. In one of the slides later on, we were going to share with you the comparison between the contrast ratio of the laser versus the lamp-based model. Right? And laser also can start off faster and shut off faster versus lamp-based because it do not require warm up. Right? Especially in certain event, you really have no time to wait for it to warm up, etc. Right? So aside from this, one of the key point when we in line with mapping, right, is laser light source projector allow you to turn into any direction. Just in case, let's say right now I have one, this is my projector. Normally we need to put projector in this way, right? But it's laser light source projector, you can turn it in any angle like this, like this. Any angle you want, as long as you shoot into the right surface you're looking at and you mount it securely. That's all. But land-based, you can't do this at all. So these are the beauty of the laser light source projector.
Nice. Okay, so moving forward.
Yeah. Moving forward, we will share with you some of the advantages of the high brightness laser light source model. So EBL 30,000 use is one of the latest and the top end. Next. So you see, right? You no risk of unexpected shutdown versus land-based. Land-based is actually much more easier to prone to the environmental versus the laser in event. In a home use, maybe it's
Because is it
control.
because it's easier for land-based to get hit? I mean, it's
Yeah, land-based actually required to have more. I mean, the control environment versus a laser. Because let's say, first of all, you need to make sure that it's mount at a certain angle. Land-based only maybe just like this, and then it's not much of tuning you can do. But laser actually is a lot stable based on the ways that I use. And then even sometimes it's those higher end model laser light source, right? They even allow you to ensure that if certain time, right, then your voltage come up too high, it's actually protect and shut it down. Okay. So to protect the projector internal circuit, that is a high-end laser light source model can do this. So they can actually do something about protection. But the land-based typically they do not have something like this. Maintenance free means that, as I shared just now, the air filter for the laser light source typically is lasts for 20,000 hours, same as the light source itself. So generally, if you're at a control environment, you do not need to do much maintenance, or you can say maintenance free. One of the key thing is versus land-based, right? When it says, say it's about 10,000 lumens, means that you only can switch between 10,000 lumens or in the eco mode, sometimes it's about 8,000 lumens, they drop it down. But for laser light source projector, you can drop it maybe at 1% down. If this is a 10,000 lumen projector, I can drop it down maybe about 10%, it became about 9,000 lumen. In a certain model, I can even lock it at this brightness as and when I want to use. And over a period of time, means that it would not drop the brightness like the land-based. You cannot control. Laser, you can control light drop over a period of time. It would not drop. And lastly, it will allow you to do 360 degree projection, which I believe that those people in the mapping actually love it the most. Right? Yeah. Unlock your imagination to do whatever, I mean, the angle of projection you're looking at.
Yeah.
So over here, right, when we talk about projection, most of the time we talk about one unit. But how about curate the immersive with a borderless multi-projection, like those show in this image show in the top right, top left over the corner. In fact, you can use some of the projector built in this called edge blending. The edges actually blend up together to give you one image. Last time you have to use a very expensive projector and very expensive computer and with the software to do so. But now I can share with you, even with one of the model EB1485FY ultra structural projector I shared with you just now, it can do this within the a single laptop, a normal laptop, and all others will be handled by the projector itself. Should you want to do something, project into a curved wall and all this thing, so right now, all projects actually built in this curved wall correction. You can just correct the angle of the edges of the projection to suit your curve wall, whether it's curve like this, inward or outward. It just map it according to what you have, and all this without software, right? Inclusive of a corner wall projection. So which is so much easier, and then you do not need to have really in-depth knowledge about projector or software in order to do this kind of mapping. Now, it's almost ready. When you just get the unit, the projector maybe just as a starting point below 10,000. Last time you need to be about 30,000, 40,000, that kind of projector can do. I can tell you now, a 10,000 projector can do the curved surface and corner wall projection.
True. I think it's really helpful for us as an artist also, because I think not all of us have the ability or even enough resources to, for example, do a projection mapping or leave our laptop on site for an installation. So sometimes we do wish like, can like a projector, we can do like simple mapping. Sometimes it doesn't need to be a really complicated mapping. It's just a simple one. So with this, I think it's really helpful for us to just focus really on, you know, creating the content instead of thinking about the technicality behind it and thinking about, oh, how are we going to leave our laptop there, and you know, how are we going to play back the content and so on. Yeah.
Correct. One point I'd like to add on over here is some of those models right now with the newer generation is allow you to do a point correction. That means that if you just have a projection like this, right, with just point very a lot of square boxes, you can just adjust this point only or this point only. So it make it very useful even without a software single unit projection. And I do aware that a lot of people say, hey, when I want to mapping projection, I need to do a 5,000 lumen, 10,000 lumen, that kind of high brightness projector. In fact, in the actual fact, I tried something with 2,000 lumens. Why? The reason behind, because Epson is 3 LCDs projector manufacturer, we own this technology. It actually gives you a 3 times brightness versus a 1 chip DLP projector in the market. For more information, actually, you can go to our website to look into this more, information or video explanation about it. But whatever image you project, that is give you the really 3 times brighter image and clarity versus the 1 chip DLP. So again, I have to try. Mapping, not necessarily use high brightness. You can use a simple model to do the job.
Yep, true.
Next. And then right now we're moving into this environment that actually 4K actually coming in. We actually we have Netflix streaming in 4K, Astro actually we also have full HD, and sometimes some of the content in 4K now is a rarity, right? So a projector also come in with 4K, either it's a native 4K or we come with a 4K Pro UHD enhanced technology that in some of the model and take in the 4K signal. The quality will be much better than a full HD. And again, our interchangeable lens, right, like the one that's showing in here, is actually 4K lenses. So it's actually take the full advantages of the 4K Pro UHD E-shift technology, the one that we show here, and give you even more crisp and clear image versus a normal full HD.
Nice.
That's the way that I think, Shakir, your projection, all this, right? Sometimes maybe just use 1, 2 unit. How can it look brighter, even though it's compared with other? It's because of the lens and then the 4K shifting technology over here.
Nice. Now
Not
I know.
your multiple unit. 1 unit is okay. So I know that you get 20,000, 30,000 lumens. Okay, based on the spec, by the way, if you 10,000 lumens, actually overachieve what you expect, right? Many times happen.
Correct. Yeah.
So right now, it's come with one aspect that a lot of people that I seldom take note of is a contrast ratio. For the contrast ratio means that the brightest point and the darker points that a projector can do. So most of the time is normally ratio into 1 to 1,000, 1 to 15,000. But now with the introductions of the laser light source, typically the contrast ratio from Epson laser light source projector is 1 over 2.5 millions, right? How's it going to be? Shakir, I think we have one slide that to share about this, right? And just quickly shift it over.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, this one.
Yes. Okay. This actually is a real life. Demo that I done to my customer during MCO last year, August. So a customer actually looking for mapping at home. Okay, but they want to have about 3 meter, nearly 5 meter tall image, right, by 3 meter wide. So they say, can you do this or not? So I'm actually showing these two. Both are actually 7,000 lumen. The left one side is a laser light source. The right hand side is a lamp base. Same brightness. But can you tell me which one they prefer? The image, which one is clearer?
What's the left one lah?
Yes. The difference is laser light source model have 2.5 million versus 1 contrast ratio, and the lamp base is 50,000 versus 1. How many times? You almost cannot distinguish. Okay, but with the real life shooting, you spot it, right? And finally, actually, I convinced the customer to use this kind of projection and to close the deal as one of the the home use. Okay, it's not in the business use; it's home use, and we actually getting more home use. So I need to emphasize again. Not for business usage. So now there are a lot of people actually want to enjoy this, maybe due to the MCO, more people want to actually enjoy something more ambience, more cool down, that kind of a feel in their home when they have the blank wall, don't know what to do. This is something you can do on mapping on the blank wall in your home. Okay, not necessarily a high-end model like this, but it can be a small model that about 2,000 lumens, laser light source, can do a portrait shooting on the ceiling, etc. Next. Okay,
All
I
right.
think
So
it's back to you.
yeah, so I think that's like really interesting sharing by Mr. Chin. You know, getting to know. I mean, like I've been working with you for like what since 2016. I mean, other than that, also during at Moshovic, so we also work a lot of together. But I never like, really get to know the technicality or the technology behind it. You know, we just actually use the product. So it's nice to actually know about it and probably put in mind also what we can actually do and how we can actually really fully utilize the projector, because sometimes what we do, of course, we on our side we do projection mapping and we use our own softwares and so on, but sometimes you also need to be clever on how you can actually fully utilize the resources that you have. So having said that, we would like to actually share this case study. I think we actually share this case study with a lot of people, but I think sharing this with you together, Mr. Chin, I think it's interesting because I remember we worked together on this project quite a lot. We go back and forth when we did the project lah.
Yep.
And when we got called by Joshua Festival, definitely we want to do a building projection, and knowing that, and I think prior to this we did urbanscape before that. So when I came to the site at that time, I have in my mind that okay, the same calculation that we did previously on urbanscape, on river of life projection, that is something that I actually look forward to. Like I think we use that projector around 15,000 lumen, and the show and the throw and everything. I sort of have the measurement already. So what I did on site is I did some basic calculation and then do some simple drawing to basically then share it with you lah. So when we go back to after we did our research on Penang, I sort of met you lah, and ask you, how we can actually produce like the best of what we can do at this project.
Correct.
Yeah, and then you introduced me about this projector calculator. You actually introduced it and share it to me before, but I don't really actually use it only for this big projection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Yeah, in fact, right, actually, when we look at all this distance calculation, very useful for anybody who like to know about the projection, maybe for simple in a home use or maybe in the classroom use, but a mapping projection like that, it will give you much more better utility on your next slide. But can you go back one slide? Back one slide. You see, right, always shows, right, the bigger challenge that people always have, how tall and how far away that I need to have it. If you make a truss system that's too tall, right, that may pose a danger, right? Sometimes people,
Yes.
oh, okay, it's 30-meter high. Do I need to make a 30-meter kind of height tower? So first of all, it's very expensive to, to construct it, and the safety, because if something's too high, that you maybe have the windy and all this thing, right? Safety also another concern. So with the throw distance calculator and with the massive lens shift that our projector have, actually you can cut down the tallest of the project and the tower actually 5 meter. You see, the image actually goes to 30-meter high, but the tower maybe is 5 to 7 meters. So make it very safety and actually give you an image. But how to materialize all this is come back to the distance calculator that 2 slides later.
This one lah.
Yes, and use the middle one. The one that on the left hand side actually most for your simple projection calculation. One that of the right hand side, right, is more on, let's say you want to see how many people can view this clearly in the environment. So view distance calculator. Let's say you have for this image, actually they show you about a 4 row. Let's say if a certain projection image site may not able to cover those people at the back, so you may need to enlarge it.
Maybe this one, if we want to do like home theater or cinema
Yes.
setting, that is the calculator for it,
Yes,
right?
or even a classroom, right? Or meeting room. You will know how big the image size I need to have or which model I need to have, right?
I
It's a
see.
viewing distance, right? One is the projection distance. The best of all this, right, will be the middle one, which is give you about 360 and a different angle of the viewing of the typical projection installation.
I see.
Maybe we
I
can go to
see.
the next slide.
Okay.
It's something very new that we launched to market actually on the middle of last year. upon you select, let's say, the EBL 25,000 lumen, you can select which lens that you're going to use. This one shown in the top right corner. You can define, right, the environment, what the ceiling height, okay, what's the throw distance, the depth that you have, what the width of the wall that you have. Later on, you can measure into the meter, inch, or even the feet. And you can see right there, actually 4 drawing over there to tell you top view, side view, or even the 3-dimensional view. So in this case, you know, okay, how is to judge whether the thing is good enough, or whether the lens shift is enough or not for this kind of projection. Though it's still not perfect, but it's actually a big step moving from our previous distance calculator and justify most of the installation use. And
Correct, yeah. Yeah, because I think most of us we prior to working to be working with bigger projector, we actually use like small projector. So what we do normally is, you know, we bring our extension and then bring our projector and then just test it on site. You know, like we never do calculation. But working with a bigger projector, I think it involve logistic and also, you know, rigging and so on, and it's not cheap to basically just bring the projector and put it on site and test it out. So the best way to do it is through virtually and using this calculator lah. Yeah, and it's really helpful again for especially this project because and we both based in KL and the project is in Georgetown. We cannot like go back and forth, bring in the projector and then test it out on site. And having this calculator is really helpful for us working on this project, especially. Yeah.
right. So it make our job actually much more easier and to narrow down the choice of the projector and lenses in use to do all these things preparation, because we know that nowadays we don't have the luxury keep on going back to the site itself do a coverage and estimation, right? So with this, actually, we can reduce the error, improve the efficiency to make things much faster.
Correct. Yeah. So that's basically what we did lah. And what after we working for like 1 week, 2 weeks, go back and forth calculating the things and readjusting the rigging, drawing and everything. So we end up, you know, choosing the projector. I think this one we use EBL 25,000, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, so as you guys can see, it's actually really big. And when we receive it, yeah, someone need to lift it for us, and we need to like, you know, have like 4 or 5 guys lift up the projector.
One thing I would like to highlight, right? Yes, it requires actually more personnel to handle it carefully because these high brightness projectors to design for this kind of the UN usage, especially for mapping projections, right? So that's why you need more people to handle it, and don't need to worry. The infrastructure actually have a metal frame, right, to make it even to a slight drop, right, it's still working fine. The construction inside there actually protect the internal component. Even sometimes you know that in the event, right, even though 3 or 4% are holding it, sometimes you may just drop up a little bit, right? So don't worry, this project actually have the internal metal frame that actually withstand a slight, that kind of the, the dropping a little bit.
Understand. But yeah, still we still actually handle it very carefully lah, because you know it's
carefully.
Yeah. And I think with this one we decided to use normal throw or short throw lenses for this one, right? So it's interesting lah to see it. And yeah, and then after that, basically just for us to continue this, you know, it's very normal for us. I think on this one we use 2 projector, 2 unit of the projector. So one side on each building to cover half of the building. And because we only use 2 projector, it's easy actually for us to do mapping also, because we can only use 1 laptop to do it. Instead of, you know, we need to use a really high performance machine to do it. Yep. And yeah, that's some of the picture of our project. I think most of you guys already seen this video or this project. We definitely look forward to going out and again mapping on building, especially, you know, having this really great product by Epson. We really wanted to actually do it again. But I mean, hopefully everything will get better after this, and yeah, we can actually go out and start working on more buildings after this. Right, Mr. Chin?
Sure.
All right. So I guess that's from our side, and I think I'm going to play a video. I think our friend can actually help us to play a video of the Georgetown Festival that happened back in 2019. Yes. All right, so I think that's about it from us. Let me just check if we do have any question, but obviously it's really eye-opening sharing by Mr. Chin, and obviously like even for me, I've been working with you for a while, Mr. Chin. We always like go back and forth for a while, and then after that we're busy with our own things and stuff. So to really have the time to sit down and with you and talk to you, and really get to know the product, is actually help us at least getting to know the technicality about the product, and at the same time sort of help us to plan and prepare for our next project, because sometimes we, without knowing whatever resources that we have, sometimes it's very hard for us to continue and produce something. So getting to know that there is this technology that available for us to manipulate and play around is really interesting to. Maybe you can also share any new tag or anything new that Epson probably wanted to introduce to us.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next one night times. Okay, so we actually have something even more, lighter home projectors to be viewed in the market, right? But the detail I cannot reveal right now. So, but actually getting, if you want to use this laser light projector using the home mapping and all those things, there's more choices to come on, and then make it easier for you. And we always believe that working with the local talents and to grow the local talent is important, right? Not just doing a business. That's the reason actually we start to work with you guys. Actually, I think more than actually way before 2017, actually more than that. So we actually both party actually growing actually together. We grow together, right? From the very first time and one of the mapping projection that we're going through. So under different occasion we cross path again, and finally actually when I see that we have mapping on Georgetown, I never something I never told you before. Actually, 5 to 6 years back when I passed through the just start building, I said, "Why it would be great if one day we can do a mapping with that." And well, it materialized somehow after a few years that without I purposely back it to happen, and it's always use our own. That's good. So we try to continue work with you guys, and then even with those coach other local talents. That's why we have mapping from home to grow the Malaysian team across a different segment. Try to do something more thinking out of box. Okay, do not necessarily use something a projector only used for video, projector only used for teaching and all these things, but you can do more than that, right?
Correct.
Just waiting for us to explore with the technology and smart. So.
Correct. Maybe you can just the last part of our conversation. Maybe you can foresee, being working with this technology and also working at Epson for a while. You've seen, such a tremendous technology advancement that happen around the world, not only within your company, right? So maybe you can also share with us, what do you see in the next future in terms of the technology itself? Because us as designer and artists, we have this creative imagination and narrative and concept and idea, but without knowing what lies behind in front of us, it probably a bit hard for us to switch, because last time people draw with pen and charcoal. Now people draw with AR and VR things, so maybe that's something that you can also share with us. What do you see and moving like another 5 more years, what else technology that probably going to be around?
Okay. What can I see is right, due to the growing trends of the digital lifestyle, and even though with this pandemic, right, COVID-19, everybody actually moving forward more into a digital lifestyle. It means that we actually last time we just use the phone. Now we use the phone to do online purchase and all this thing, right? It's a grab food, online food ordering, online shopping, etc. And the next trend is I will see that even in the projections, where people will actually use it more, bring it around with them. Formerly, yes, it cannot be do and maybe quite expensive to do so. But right now, with technology advancement, I can say that almost everybody can be afford in the near future. Share what is a simple idea for you. About 5 years back, our first laser light source projector is cost about 30,000. I can share with you right now. Okay, for this year, about a month later, you can see something even more lower. Okay, so the one that is the market that you can see right is below. The 10,000. Something even much more interesting in the next 2 months' time. So you can just follow our Epson Malaysia Facebook to see something newer. So it will be a new digital lifestyle. People will bring more gadget and use it anywhere that they want, because we will want to enjoy the Facebook, we want to enjoy the YouTube streaming and all these things with a larger screen. Adhere with social distancing because people that okay, I don't want to stay too cold, but I want to view it clearly. So obviously project one of the choice versus a TV that you cannot bring around like TV, but a small projector that is handy around that you can just bring it around and just moving around to share with your friend and the social thing. Yeah, that's
Awesome. All right, so I guess that's about it. And thank you everyone who joined in and tuned in for this talk show. We going to have another last talk show happening next week. That will be on Friday night. We'll post up more about it later on, but again, thank you, and we do wish all the best and good luck to all the participants. You guys already have probably another one week and a half to prepare your final submission, and we look forward to see all the final submissions. And yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chin.
Thank
you. To everyone who been supporting us. Right. Hopefully you guys have a safe weekend, and yeah, stay safe and just be cool. All right. Bye.
Bye.